Next project now, EALU-AER. I hope that the naming is correct. That will be presented by Dr. Wassim Derguech. He is a co-founder and chief operating officer of Future Mobility Campus Ireland. Wassim is also the chairperson of a Shannon Chamber SkillNet steering committee looking at identifying and bridging the skill gaps in the Shannon region, Ireland. He is also a member of Cobots and Robotics Technical Committee of the National Standards Authority of Ireland. Please welcome my colleague Wassim.
That's a very impressive stage, to be honest, and I hope that everyone that I know is taking pictures and videos, go and collect them afterwards. That's part of my time, I know, but thank you everyone for staying till now to go through this project. So as Cengiz said, my name is Wassim. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Future Mobility Campus Ireland, and we will be the host of one of the Digital Sky Demonstrators, and we're really honored for that. So the project will be running for 3 years. We are 9 partners. Well, there are 3 in one partner. I'll explain that later on, from 5 different countries. And we will be spending 5.5 million for the next 3 years to bring this into reality. And I reassure you as well, Cengiz and everyone else here, that we're not looking at a project to deploy and play around for 3 years and let it go. This is something that we have investment here, that we want to make this as a running operation beyond the life of the project. So in terms of partners involved in this project, so ourselves as Future Mobility Campus Ireland, we started initially as a testbed for land mobility. We're looking at demonstrating, validating, testing autonomous and connected vehicles on the road, and we see a lot of synergies in terms of infrastructure requirements and in terms of ambitions and prospects for building the same thing in the space. And then we looked at advanced air mobility as part of our portfolio. So we will be the owners of the infrastructure, or be the maintainers of this infrastructure, in collaboration with Collins Aerospace as being the providers of most of the technologies and solutions that have been explored and developed and deployed in previous projects under the SESARJU program. So Deep Blue, human factor is one of their biggest strengths. They will be also looking at standardization, regulation in collaboration with AFTRAIN. As Cengiz said earlier, I'm part of SkillNet group in Ireland looking at skills gap, and AFTRAIN, Julie here as well today, is looking at the skills identification or skills gap identification, building programs about not only training pilots, but also I think in the future we'll be looking at training vertiport maybe operators and so on. The Shannon Airport Group, we're exactly next to the airport, so there are 2 fences between the airfield and ourselves, which makes us a bit of a unique project to be fully working in a controlled airspace there. The Irish Aviation Authority will be overlooking at what we're doing and obviously getting a lot of lessons learned, getting some steer into the standardization and the regulation aspect. Mana Drone Delivery, one of the largest delivery companies in Europe. They do a lot of drone deliveries already in Ireland, and beyond that they're now expanding their operations in the US. So the objective, like in the 3 DSD projects here, were a technology infrastructure integration project. So we're not going to be developing something new with solutions that have been already proposed, and you've seen the demand and the need from all the existing projects that we're presenting earlier, and we're going to do an actual integration in this infrastructure space. So we'll be looking at proving the feasibility and reliability of operations of the efficiency of eVTOL aircrafts, and that's something that will come as a main output of this project on. Yeah, the need of vertiport is there. How do we operate these vertiports, especially in a controlled airspace next to an airport? Developing, deploying, and customizing some of these use-based services for doing the UAM, UTM integration piece, and closely with the Irish Aviation Authority, there's a specific attention in looking at the separation standards that we will have to deploy in that airspace. So we did our kickoff meeting on the 15th of November. We did our first, let's say, contacts with the airport personnel, the ATC personnel from the Irish Aviation Authority. We were looking around identifying the sites where we're going to be flying and operating in the next 3 years. We did a kind of a view as well of the premises, the control center, and all the resources that will be available for the deployment of these solutions. So in terms of timeline, it's a 3-year project, as I said earlier. So we'll be looking at testing multiple use cases. We'll start with the initial BVLOS validation use cases, very small aircraft flying around doing maybe structure inspection, photography, photometry, and all of these kind of light operations to validate the communications and the contact on a permanent basis with the ATC. Then we'll be looking towards more and more BVLOS features, going into an expanded operations, going to remote areas where, for example, we have the island within about 80 kilometers range from where we are. We'll be looking at also heading towards the north and hopefully doing cross-jurisdictions flights. And this is on its own, it's a very big challenge that we're going to be looking towards proposing solutions and probably having a long-term solution for that. We'll all be looking at remote and mobile launch operations, a van kitted with all the ground control station capabilities and move it around for doing a bit of operations all around. So I hopefully respected the time. Thank you very much all for your attention. Contact details are there. Reach out.
Okay, thank you, Wassim. Very nice presentation.